Welcome back everybody, Pink Lemon here, and today I'm unveiling another new series because we're doing Beyblade fusions. Fusing Beys together I think is an idea that everyone's thought of, and I definitely wish the anime explored more, because throughout an entire series called Metal Fusion, they only did it that one time, when Yu gave Kenta his Libra's Eternal Sharp and the new Sagittario proceeded to get it absolutely destroyed. So, as you can probably tell, this time we're fusing Lightning L-Drago and Storm Pegasus. Imagine, if you will, a hypothetical episode where after Ryuga is revealed to no longer be the true villain, him and Jinka have to combine their powers to defeat a new, more powerful villain with this combo. Usually fusing Beyblades just means swapping their parts around, but I wanted to make these combos more like true fusions by giving them all new parts that reflect the combined aspects of both of their components. This is why I chose L-Drago for this video, because its fusion wheel and energy ring can't just be swapped around like other Beys, so we have to give it a new wheel. That being Spiral. Although I wish it were more jagged to reflect L-Drago, it already reflects L-Drago well through its hard-hitting recoil, reflecting Pegasus through its speed and the three-winged nature of both Beys. Speaking of three wings, I've decided to give it Left Wing 105, mixing in a little bit of L-Drago's left spin with Pegasus's default height and keeping up with the three-winged theme. Now, by far the hardest part of this was finding a fusion for Rubber Flat and Hole Flat. The obvious option would be a Rubber Hole Flat, but that part doesn't really exist. Or does it? This is a custom coat sharp tip, where the rubber is actually raised above the plastic bit that's meant to give it the coated part, or the sharp part, making it effectively act like a rubber flat with a hole in the middle, giving it much more speed and aggressiveness as it has less contact with the stadium floor. Overall, with all these parts together, this Bey is a speedy and hard-hitting nightmare, making this combo far more threatening than the sum of its parts. And because it's a fusion of a right and left spinning Bey, we're going to use our illegal technique to let it spin both ways. And with that, I crown this Bey L-Pegasus. Let's meet our first opponent. For our first opponent, we're going up against Flame Sagittario Claw 145 Sharp, to see how well this Bey does against a standard stamina matchup, and to see what this fusion can do against one of Jinka's closest rivals. And without wasting any time, L-Pegasus immediately gets the first knockout, making the score 1-0. And unfortunately, L-Pegasus' speed and high recoil backfires against it as it's counterattacked out of the stadium. The score is now 1-1. And despite not getting the knockout, L-Pegasus' hard hits and left spin was able to knock Sagittario off balance and win with a sleep out. The score is now 2-1. And with a final barrage of attacks, L-Pegasus is the victor. Well, despite Sagittarius' ability to almost stand its ground in the stadium, L-Pegasus' hard-hitting attacks were just enough to destabilize Sagittario, especially in left spin, and drain its stamina just enough to give it the victory. For our second battle, we're going up against Cyber Pegasus 100 Hole Flat to see how well our new fusion goes up against its original's predecessor. And after a thrilling race around the stadium, Cyber Pegasus ultimately comes out on top. The score is now 0-1. And due to Cyber Pegasus' lack of any considerable weight, one tap from L-Pegasus sends it flying. The score is now 1-1. And after an epic 1-2 clash, L-Pegasus ejects Cyber from the arena, making the score now 2-1. despite L-Pegasus' best efforts, Cyber barely manages to hold on with a little bit more stamina and wins with a sleep out. The score is now 2-all. And despite L-Pegasus' tremendous power and speed, it is counterattacked out of the arena, giving Cyber Pegasus the victory. Wow, despite the ineffectiveness of Cyber as an attack type reel, regardless of the weight difference, Cyber Pegasus actually managed to win one over by exploiting the extremely low stamina of our new fusion, either winning via sleep out or waiting for the perfect time to strike. For our third battle, we are battling Pheonix, one of the most powerful stamina types in the anime and in real life, to see if with their powers combined, if our new fusion can accomplish this insurmountable task. Now, important thing to note, my metal sharp tip is extremely worn down, but surprisingly, this doesn't actually affect the performance or the stamina of the Bey too much. Just thought it was a fun thing to note. And after a few high recoil strikes, L-Pegasus wins with a knockout. The score is now 1-0. And after being absolutely smacked around the stadium, Pheonix manages to hold on, winning with a sleep out, making the score now 1-all. And even at a low spin speed, with one well-placed strike, L-Pegasus wins with a knockout, making the score now 2-1. L-Pegasus manages to get under and destabilize Pheonix, sending it careening out of the stadium, delivering it the victory. I'm actually not that surprised that our new fusion was able to defeat Pheonix, as the burn wheel has a surprising amount of recoil that, when mixed with the hard-hitting nature of Spiral, makes for some volatile hits that clearly Pheonix wasn't able to stand up to. And for our final opponent, we are going up against another Pegasus upgrade, Jade Pegasus T125 Coat Sharp, to see how well our new fusion fares against a 4D opponent. And despite its best efforts, Jade Pegasus manages to hold on just a bit longer and win with a sleep out. The score is now 0-1. L-Pegasus seemingly getting revenge for the last match as it manages to drain just enough of Jade Pegasus' stamina to win with a sleep out. The score is now 1-all. And with an explosive double counterattack, L-Pegasus is sent straight out of the arena, giving Jade Pegasus the knockout. The score is now 1-2. And after a tense stamina competition, L-Pegasus manages to drain just enough of Jade Pegasus' stamina to win with a sleep out. The score is now 2-all. And after another stamina battle, these Beys continue to be evenly matched, ending in an unexpected draw. The score is still 2-all. And after a final race around the stadium, Jade Pegasus manages to absorb L-Pegasus' harder hits, winning with a sleep out and granting it the victory. This final fight between two upgraded Pegasuses was nothing to sleep at, as these Beys seem to be almost evenly matched at every turn. Unfortunately, it seems that Jade Pegasus' defense and ability to dodge attacks was just too much for L-Pegasus' lacking stamina. Wow, that was eventful. I expected this combo to be extra fast, but oh man, this Beyblade was absolutely out of control. I said earlier that I wish Spiral was more jagged for more recoil, but oh man, I think the speed made up for that lack of recoil tenfold, as combined with the left spin launch pushing the pointed edge of Spiral forward, this Bey was nothing but explosive off of launch. Unfortunately, due to the rubber tip after the initial launch, if this Bey wasn't KOing, it definitely wasn't winning, as Beys with even a minuscule amount more stamina like Cyber Pegasus managed to defeat it, making any Bey that can hold its own long enough in the stadium an almost unwinnable matchup. Most notably though, like a lot of rubber-tipped attack types, this Bey is inconsistent no matter which way you spin it, as with the extremely low stamina, high recoil, and high speed making it a volatile, unpredictable, and uncontrollable combo with major go big or go home energy, which, when you think about it, is pretty fitting when you think of the Beys we've used to make it. That's enough out of me though. What did you guys think of this fusion? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what other Beys you would like to see fused in the future. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I've been a Pink Lemon, and I hope you have a great day.